P-DTR is a form of functional neurology that uses the sensory nervous system. But an easier way to understand this is when we hold something like our phone, for instance, how do we know what we're holding? When the temperature changes, how do we know? Or when someone touches us, how can we differentiate between the different forms of touch, like crude, light, or something with a bit more pressure, for instance? The easy answer to this is through three nerve endings, or receptors, that send information to our brain to allow our brain to understand what's going on in our environment. Now, these receptors, when they have a normal response, will send normal information to our brain. Our brain will make good decisions and reactions towards how to interact with our environment. But these receptors can also become hypersensitive or hyposensitive, meaning that they either send too much or too little information to the brain, which can also become a problem. So our brain really has only one job, and that's to keep us alive. So it moves us away from danger and problems and towards safety and compensations. So if we have dysfunctional receptors, say hypersensitive receptors or hyposensitive receptors, this can be construed by our brains as a danger, even though no danger physically exists. Now these may have come from physical traumas or real dangers where that receptor has become stuck into that level of sensitivity. And what P-DTR can do is reset that level of sensitivity through a deep tendon reflex, which is basically something like a blink response or even the knee jerk you'd classically get from a doctor's hammer at the office. So using these threat modulation examples, it's quite easy to see how posture can be affected by neurological drivers. These neurological drivers will quite literally send a message down to the soft tissue systems, like the muscular system or the fascial system, to elicit a change throughout the body. So by using P-DTR, we can make a change at the top using the nervous system and cut out potentially months of painful soft tissue release work and stretching. So neurology is not an easy subject to understand. To make it a bit more practical and relatable to you, I'm going to now show you some normal neurological reactions that we'll generally look for and screen within a normal treatment session. So now I'm going to demonstrate some normal neurological reactions to you here with my guest today, Sam. So we're going to look at the strength his muscles can contract at using a system called manual muscle testing. Now we can look at normal and abnormal responses of the body. So we look, say, at just doing a normal movement. So you can push up against my hand here, and I can push quite hard, so really strong. I can push quite hard, and I'm still not going to break that. Now, of course, I can break through that if I try as hard as I can and push down. I'm going to be able to put more weight onto Sam's arm than he's going to be able to hold up. But realistically, he can create what we call a neurological lock, so his arm can stay in a good position, strong there. Now, there's a few different ways we can look at causing a normal inhibition, which means a normal weakness of that muscle. Okay, one, for instance, is we can look at the normal gait pattern. So if Sam takes his right foot forwards here, okay, and so when we're walking in a gait, we should have this cross pattern here, like this. Okay, that means everything that's going, all of this side of the body should be strong and contracting, whereas all of this side of the body should be weak and inhibiting. Okay, so here should be strong still, which is good, but this one here should be weak. There's not much in that. Okay, and then here, strong again. So you can see he can hold that, but he's going to come falling forwards first before he's going to weaken. And here, there's not much. Yeah, no, just do that again. Hold. Yeah, there's not much resistance there. Now again, if we change the legs around, so we saw before this arm was strong, and now it doesn't take much at all to break that. So I'm just going just straight down into that position. It doesn't take much strength for me to change that at all. And just stand back to a normal position again. Another way we can test a normal inhibition of a muscle is to actually reduce the tension it's pulling at. So muscles communicate with the brain via tension. Okay, so all we're going to do is bring the fibers closer together, and that will weaken the muscle by decreasing the signal it sends to the brain. So these are some examples of normal neurological reactions. We can also look at pain, or what we call nociception realistically. So pain is something that we interpret in our brains. It actually doesn't exist. We don't have pain receptors or pain pathways. We have nervous pathways and nervous receptors that send information that can be interpreted as pain in our brain by organelles or organs such as the amygdala and the insula. So right now we're going to bring in an expensive tool, my toothpick here, to show you a demonstration. So we look here, we're testing Sam's tricep, okay, and it's push, very strong. If I pull the muscles together, it inhibits normally. So we go and test it again, very strong. Now all I need to do, now if I got this and really jabbed it in Sam's hand, he would see a massive recoil, and this would be very normal because of just elicited pain. But that response isn't actually from the pain itself, it's actually from the neurological response. And I'm going to show you this by just eliciting a very small stimulus that's not going to cause any pain. Is this causing any pain? Okay, good, right. So what we're going to do, hold. Again, hard as you can, strong again. So it's a small stimulus, and it weakens. And it weakens. So you can see here, the response is actually just a normal neurological pattern. So these are what we call normal inhibition patterns and facilitation patterns. What we're looking for when we're screening you is for abnormal patterns. We're looking to see what drives posture, so weak muscles, for instance. I can see Sam's neck here is turned a little bit, so his posture is a bit off. So we can look here at the, what we call the SEM muscle, which if we turn the head and bring it down in this position, we're going to test in a more direct route. Of course, when we're doing manual muscle testing, we're never testing one muscle directly, but we can put you in a position where one muscle will be working harder than anything else and doing the biggest part of the job. Okay, so if we're doing this, and you push into my hand, and you see this hold. There's not really much there, but if we turn you, see him down hold, he can resist quite a lot of pressure there if we do his forehead. So you can see his neck flexors are actually showing to be strong in this position, but particularly the muscle that does this movement, the SEM, sternocleidomastoid muscle, this is actually showing to be weak. So this is something we would look for in clinic for weak muscles or for small changes in posture that don't look quite right. Stuff like shoulders being higher or lower, and we look to change this through a neurological stimulus and a DTR, a new functional neurology reset.